good, group number one? For those of y'all who are drawn to the first image, this is going to be y'all's reading today. We're going to be looking into asking the question, what are you meant to create? Okay, this is for my creatives out here, whether it's fine arts, content, entrepreneurship, whatever that may be for you. We're going to be looking into what are you meant to create. Just as a reminder, this is a general reading, so please take what resonates and leave the rest. All right, Spirit guys, this is for group number one. What is group number one meant to create? Group number one, what are they meant to create? 444 can be significant, or 44. Those angel numbers could like align with your higher purpose in some way. Okay, I'm gonna start off with these tarot cards here. So you got the Four of Cups, the Judgment, and then Knight of Pentacles in reverse. So whatever this is that you are meant to create with this Judgment energy starting off, this is the first card that popped out here. Whatever this is definitely a part of your higher purpose. And I'm also picking up that this is something that is meant to help the collective in some way. So this kind of giving me like something that, oh, and then you got the Magician here at the bottom of the deck. So this is definitely something more spiritually related, maybe something related to like spirituality or your religion or spiritual belief system in some type of way. But what I'm getting with this Judgment and Four of Cups and this Knight of Pentacles, whatever this is that you're meant to create is meant to help navigate people out of a stagnant situation. So for some of you, this can be like coaching or life coaching. This could be tarot. This could be therapy. You know, it doesn't necessarily have to be like a traditional spiritual, thing. It's a lot of jobs that we consider like mundane that are actually very spiritually related. One that comes to mind is like hair. People who are like hairdressers or work with hair. When you're, fooling around with people's heads, you're able to kind of tap into their crown chakra, and that's also like healing and cleansing of people's crown chakras as well. It helps to kind of clear stagnancies for them there also. However, this feels a little bit more traditionally related to spirituality in a sense. For some of you, this could be spell work here as well. Why is this giving me career? I didn't mean for it to go in a career route, but this is kind of what it's giving me here. This feels like whatever you may be doing for a career is going to be directly linked to your higher calling in this lifetime, like what you are meant to be doing. Yeah, but whatever this is that you're creating, for some of you, this can be some type of like program. Some of you could be like a course. For some of you, this could be maybe like a business of some sort that you may have. This is definitely giving like, for some of you, entrepreneurship. And again, for others of you, this can be the more traditional 9 to 5 sense. Nothing wrong with either or. But yeah, whatever this is that you are meant to create is going to really help bring people out of this very stuck, bored, stagnant feeling. Because I feel like for many of them, they're not really stuck. It's just more so in their head. unless you're like a therapist and you're actually working with like truly mentally ill clients, that's a different thing there. Um, but it's almost like energy work as you're doing. So it's like you're creating um, movement and a change in energy in people's lives and people's energy. Whatever this is, I'm also getting like speaking. So somebody here, you can be like speaking, like motivational speaking. I'm also seeing somebody on like a podcast, um, like speaking into a microphone, like one of those podcast microphones. Um, but yeah, it's like your advice, your guidance, whatever it is that you're offering to people, whether it's your voice or an actual like service, is meant to like get people out of this like this energy or this mindset of things are not working out for me, or things just feel so stagnant for me, or I feel like I'm not getting anywhere right now. It's taking people out of that, and it's putting people towards movement. But in with this Knight of Pentacles energy is assisting people in a very practical way. Whatever advice or guidance you're giving is very practical. It's not like, you know, um, it's not vague. This is very like step by step. I'm also getting AA. So somebody here could be like involved in like rehabilitation. So I'm getting like AA, like Alcoholic Anonymous. Um, Group counseling could be significant here. You may work in some sort of group dynamic here, maybe with like the people that you're helping. Again, this could also just be regarding like the collective, but I am seeing like group therapy. It doesn't necessarily have to be therapy. It can just be like you meeting with your collective, um, and you just kind of being there to like answer any questions or bounce any ideas off of you. But it's like people are seeking you out for your wisdom, your knowledge, and your experience, um, and you are providing that for folks, and that is helping people move out of feeling stuck or feeling like things are not working out for them, but also helping people to understand too that life is a journey. For some people you may get from point A to point B, quick, fast, and then quick and fast, while other people it may take them a little bit longer. So I feel like you're more so working with the folks who like their journeys may require a lot more patience, and I feel like you may even be teaching that in some sort of way. I'm getting like yoga. I was gonna say Pilates, um, I guess. But it's like moving energy. It can be acupuncture, things of that sort, to where you're assisting people to like move energy in some sort of way. Anything like specific, like what exactly they're meant to create? So I feel like you're meant to create something that's going to help people move energy in some type of way, and that's going to be very different for everybody here, because we're all experience different things and we're all experts on different things. Or we may have. I feel like you're going to have like a specific niche. Um, yeah, you're meant to have some sort of specific niche or some sort of specific target audience that you're meant to help. Some of you may already have, an idea of what that may be for you, while others, you haven't discovered that just yet. Um, but I feel like the biggest clue is what are some things that you have gone through or experienced in your life that you have overcame, and whatever that may be for you, um, it's going to you're going to be helping other people who have gone through something similar. This could be a book as well for some of you too. Don't um, I'm hearing don't judge a book by its cover. You know, when people think of like energy healing, they don't really always think of like books, or things that are written down, but that's energy movement as well. I've read a couple of books that really help um, get me thinking and get the gears going, and it helped move energy, moving from like being feeling stuck or feeling like I don't know what to do or I don't have the answers, to then knowing exactly what I need to do next, or at least have a next step that I need to take. But Knight of Pentacles is very goal oriented. He's very, he, even though he's about movement, he's the slowest moving knight. He's the energy of slow and steady wins the race. And I feel like you may be someone in your life, or in a specific area of your life. It may have been a really long, tough journey, but I feel like for many of you, there's some area of your life to where you have really overcame it, or overcame any challenges or obstacles, and you're meant to move the energy, or help others who are going through something similar to move that energy too. Let's get a little bit more specific. Yeah, a little more Pacific. Okay, what are they meant to create? Group number one, what are they meant to create? I'm seeing glasses. Somebody here to wear glasses. Yeah, I can't make this up. Best possible decision. Yeah, you're meant to help, or you're meant to create something that's going to help people make a good, positive decision that's for themselves. You're helping people to navigate something. And again, for some of you, this can be regarding some sort of class or course that you may teach. Some of you may be meant to be teachers. So this could be like a curriculum that you're creating, or a course, a syllabus that you're creating. For some of you, this could be mentorship here as well. So some of you, this may come later on in life for you. This may not be like a right now thing. That's not for everybody. This is more so for like the really younger crowd. I say younger than 25 is what I'm picking up. So this is, again, like for many of you, this may be a little bit later on in life. After you've gone through, certain experiences, and, had to make certain decisions, and, deal with like the outcome of certain decisions. So it's like whatever it is that you went through, you're able to help other people with those, or based off of your experience and wisdom. What else? I can definitely see you like guiding people. So it's less of like creating something, and more so of like just kind of being there, or being like, I'm seeing like a lighthouse. You know how because I'm seeing like a really like stormy night in the ocean, and there's this boat trying to navigate through this ocean or know where to go. But they, because of the storm and all the clouds and fog and rain and all of that, it's hard for them to see where they need to go or not. And there's this big lighthouse, with the light that's, rotating around. And because of this lighthouse, this boat now knows, okay, let me go east, or I need to go west to get to my destination. And that's your role in this collective, is to be this guiding light for others. So it's not necessarily like creating something, but it's more so of just kind of, again, like being there for others in some sort of way. Prosperity. So you're definitely meant to create prosperity, whatever this is that you will be stepping into as far as your career goes. Here is going to bring you a lot of prosperity and a lot of abundance here. This is going to really like set you up for life. I'm also seeing generations here, so this may set up generations that are coming after, that will follow you, set them up for success as well. So it's like you're leading by example. Again, I'm not getting much of like creation, again, like some of you, this could be like creating a course or something like that, or a program, maybe coaching or therapy. Um, some of you may even like, there may even be some sort of groundbreaking like concept that you may discover. Those of us who are in like the psychology, social work, that sort of clinical realm of things, to where it's like, these different concepts like Maslow hierarchy of needs, or Piaget, and all these other different concepts with sociology and psychology of that sort. That stuff had to come from somebody's mind, and I feel like that's something that you may do here as well. You may coin your own term or terminology or concept that will be used in textbooks years from now. People may be studying you and studying what you have discovered or came up with. um, Ooh, that's a really strong energy there. um, but yeah, I definitely see this helping like a multitude of people. Like, this isn't like a few people. This feels like hundreds of thousands of people, millions of people who will benefit from your work or whatever you put out there, whether directly or indirectly. Um, you got some people who, read books, and they may get, some wisdom and knowledge from those books. And due to them, what they learn from that book, they're able to spread that to other people and teach other people this as well. So again, it can be directly or indirectly, but regardless, you're going to be helping a collective of people who are going through a specific challenge or obstacle that you have overcame or you are currently overcoming. And your insight is going to provide this guidance for people here. But yeah, group number one, I think these are all the messages that I'm seeing for y'all. So let me know how the reading resonates for you in the comment section. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Y'all stay well, stay blessed, and I will see you in my next reading. Peace out. All right, group number two, for those of y'all who are drawn to the second image, this is going to be y'all's reading today. We're going to be looking into what are you meant to create. Hold on, I forgot to start my little timer so I don't go too much over. And as I'm checking my timer here, um, I had a affirmation that popped up on my phone. It says, "I know I am capable of anything." So that could definitely be confirmation for somebody here, or maybe just something that you needed to hear. All right, what is group number two meant to create? What are they meant to create? Ooh, I'm getting art. So you got Five of Wands. Five of Wands energy I'm picking up is giving me like, especially in conjunction with art. What is the phrase like? Art is subjective. Meaning that it's based off of your own personal interpretation of it. So with this Five of Wands energy, whatever this is that you are meant to create is meant to kind of push people's limits in a way, or their interpretations. What am I getting at, Spirit, or what are you getting at? Like, people are going to perceive, your art or your work in many different ways. Um, you may have whatever this is that you're creating. You're gonna have fans, and you're also gonna have like haters, which is normal. We have that, but this feels like something that is very specific. Even like when I think of like politics, some people are on one side, some people are on the other side. You got a very few people who don't really give a shit and who are in the middle. But this feels like whatever this is that you're creating is going to have a lot of mixed reviews or mixed perceptions of this. Okay, let's get some specifics. What are they meant to create? I just heard weird. So somebody here, this could be like literal, like abstract art. For some of you, this could be, and, this doesn't necessarily have to mean like, oh, I got to make a career out of this. I'm not really getting that for y'all. I'm getting this may be more of like a hobby or like a side thing, or maybe something that you're needing to do as more like mindfulness. But it feels like you're meant to create something that is kind of coming from pure imagination, and whatever this is, like many different people are going to have many different interpretations of this. You may have your own interpretation or meaning of something, but others may view it differently. Okay. Okay. Ooh, yeah, yeah. So Justice, Five of Wands, Seven of Wands, or yeah, Seven of Wands, and then the Four of Swords. And then at the bottom of the deck, you got the Six of Wands. All right. Oh, I just noticed a five, six, seven of wands. Whatever this is something going to be very, this feels very progressive. Libra energy here as well. I'm also picking up a little bit of Aquarius here too. This feels like something that's very progressive, very innovative, something that is going to bring in some sort of balance, whether this is more of like internal balance. Yeah, okay. This feels more of an internal balance energy here. Um, this doesn't feel like group one, where it's more of like collective worldwide type of thing. This just feels more of like um, something that is meant to uh, provide you with some sort of like release. Yeah, this is meant for you to, for something for you to release. So it's giving me like art. So for instance, like if you're painting something, you may use certain colors or certain shapes, certain, lines or etches, Um, and it's interesting, like going back and looking at, the different colors and stuff you may have used, and looking into these colors and seeing like, okay, I chose the color blue. Maybe because I chose blue, I'm feeling, um, you know, my throat chakra is blocked, or I may need to express myself more, or speak more, or communicate more. Like something about this energy of like whatever this is you're putting out there is meant to be perceived differently by different people, especially, you. Um, but this feels like a form of release, a form of, maybe mindfulness with this Four of Swords energy. This doesn't feel like you're meant to sell this or anything like that. When I was picking up the energy of like people may have different perceptions of it, that's doesn't mean that you're selling it. It more so means like if you were to show this you were just having fun one day and you were just drawing something or sketching something, and you showed a friend, that friend may view the bunny rabbit that you draw as something, different for them. Bunny rabbits can be, in tarot it can signify like fertility, pregnancy, sexual energy, and maybe to you, you just want to draw a pretty bunny. It doesn't necessarily have to be something super deep. Um, but whatever this is meant to like, again, it's meant to be some sort of like mindfulness for you. So I feel like what you're meant to create right now is something that is going to help, bring out, what you're feeling or how you're feeling on the inside. You may have some inner tension, you may have some anxiety, some bottle up emotions within you. So you're meant to create something right now that is going to get that out. So mindfulness is really, really big for you right now, but in this very specific way that you're meant to do it. So some of you, this could be drawing, painting. For others of you, this could be, maybe dancing. I'm seeing somebody doing like interpretive dancing. So maybe just throwing on some music and then just however your body feels like moving at that moment, do it. For others of you, this could be singing. This you don't have to be a good singer. If you have a voice, you can sing. So this could be, maybe you writing a song or maybe writing a poem based off of how you're feeling right now. For some of you, this could be drawing or journaling how you're feeling. So whatever this is that you are creating is meant to be a form of release for you, or to let go of any pent up tensions that you may have within you right now. So yeah, this doesn't feel, yeah, like group number one was very much like collective driven, like kind of on a bigger scale type of thing. While your group, this feels more of like you're meant to create something for you, not for others. Even if you've never painted before, and I keep on picking that up. So something about like paint or markers, colored pencils, something about colors, like using different colors or a different palette. I'm also seeing makeup. I'm seeing like a makeup palette here as well. I'm seeing somebody with like very, I'm seeing a drag queen. Love that energy. Love that. If you are, please hit me up. What shows you got coming up? I want to see. But yeah, I'm definitely seeing somebody with like this big, extravagant, like the big makeup that like drag queens may wear. Seeing that here as well. So some of you may, be into drag, and you're being called to maybe switch up like your color scheme or being more bold with your colors, or or how you're expressing yourself in that. They're very specific for somebody here. That's definitely not for everybody. And I was sitting here, just kind of shuffling this deck, but here at the bottom you got imagination. So yeah, this feels like you're meant to create something right now that is pure imagination. Now that song from what's that, Willy Wonka? It's like, come with me and you'll be in a world of pure imagination. Take a look and you'll see into your imagination. We'll begin with a spin. That's all I remember. But that movie can be significant. I'm also picking up too. Like this may be something eccentric for you, because in the movie Willy Wonka was this very eccentric man. He lived a very eccentric lifestyle. He had all these weird little candy inventions and things of that sort. So you may even be called right now to just, kind of play around with different things and just kind of see what calls out to you right now. Something about Play Doh or clay can be significant too. Um, yeah, so you got success, and then you got confidence. I'm also hearing that song, What's wrong with being confident? Oh, oh. Who's that? Demi Lovato. Love her. Um, yeah, whatever this is that you're meant to create is meant to help you to release some sort of build up energy and make room for more energy that is more in alignment with you, which is success and confidence. So this is the energy that's waiting on the other side of this release that you're meant to be doing. Um, Very interesting how that kind of
Uh-huh.
came out.
Good evening.
Oh, I was like, who is that? That's the damn Siri. Okay, that scared the hell out of me. But anyway, um, yeah, you're on your way to some sort of divine justice or balance in your life. However, you're being called to release what no longer serves you right now. You're being called to release and let go of any like unexpressed, emotions. I'm also hearing opinions, um, or feelings, like whatever this is that you have penned up inside of you, you need to release it in order for this divine justice to come in, which is bringing you success and confidence, um, or a more confident you. You're stepping into a more confident you. Love this energy. So 12 can be significant, 32. I'm also seeing 1, 2, 3 here, or 1, 2, 3, 2 can be significant also. Um, what was it? 5, 6, 7 can be significant. Oh, you got 4, 5, and then 6, 7. Usually, when I get consecutive numbers like that, it means like progression. Things are progressing for you. So things are definitely progressing for you. Things are moving for you in your life. But again, there's a need for you to let go and release something, and that is why you're meant to create some sort of representation of how you're feeling in your inner world. So this is going to come in of through you with this Four of Swords energy, like contemplating or not contemplating, um, kind of sitting back, getting some rest, and just kind of seeing like what calls out to you right now. What do you feel like doing? What do you want to do? Something about like childhood, maybe something that, so I'm being drawn to this kid here in this image. So what maybe, for some of you, what's something that you used to do as a child, creatively speaking, that you may not do much of as an adult. That could be a clue into what you may need to be do right now. um, Very, very interesting energy. Yeah, some of you may be called to write right now. Writing is very significant for somebody here. Journaling, maybe like a gratitude journal for some of you, but this feels more of like a journal of like, how you're feeling, what you're going through. This isn't like, this isn't something that you're meant to share with others. This is more so something you're kind of meant to, keep on your own. So again, it's like a journal of some sort, a diary. Um, I'm getting vampire diaries. Um, Screenwriting could be significant. Maybe some of you may be called to like, you don't have to publish this or anything, but if you had an idea for like a show or a movie or a skit or something like that, improv could be significant here too. You may have an idea for a show or a movie. Start jotting down some ideas on that. Writing that out. And I feel like you may even look and see like, oh, this feels like a representation of my life or what I may be currently going through or have gone through in the past. You may write something based off of that. This feels very significant, but very creative, but also very infused with your imagination here. Whew. Okay. Anything else, spirit guides? I don't think so. Um, I think these are all the messages that I'm seeing for you, group number 2. Let me know how this reading resonates for you in the comment section. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Y'all stay well, stay blessed, and I will see you in my next reading. Peace out. All right, last but not least, group number 3. This is going to be our reading today. We're going to be looking into what are you meant to create? What are you meant to create? So this is for group number 3, spirit guides. For group number 3, what are they meant to create? Wow. Okay. So I'm splitting the deck, and you got the King of Pentacles and then the Emperor here. So this feels something very structured in some type of way. And this may be some sort of resource that is either helpful for you or for others. Let's get some more cards out here because I don't want to jump the gun. What are they? What is group number three meant to create right now? What are they meant to create? Okay. Okay. Why am I getting that song? What is it? High School Musical 2. I want fabulous. That is my simple request. But I'm hearing that first part. She's like, out with the old, in with the new. Goodbye, clouds of gray. Hello, skies of blue. A dip in the pool. A trip to the mall. Ah, that's all I remember. Or at least that's all was coming through. So this feels like a very like, this feels very nostalgic to me. Um, what's with that spirit? Yeah, this feels very nostalgic. Huh. Ah, okay. So I'm seeing, ooh, two different things here. I didn't get this for the other groups. I got more like one specific thing, but this feels like two different things here. So let me start off with the first thing I'm picking up. One thing I feel like you're meant to create with this Ten of Cups and Six of Cups energy is, or at least in this lifetime, it may not necessarily be like right now. This feels more of like along the way as you go along your journey in your life. You're meant to create a family of your own, but not a family by blood, but a like soul tribe. Six of Cups is very soulmate energy, soul tribe energy, and Ten of Cups is very much like family, chosen family, to be exact. I don't always get like blood family with Ten of Cups. That's just me. That's just kind of how I interpret the card. It doesn't really feel like blood family. Ten of Cups to me feels like the family that you chose for yourself. So that's one thing that I'm picking up here is that you're meant to create a family of your own. So some of you, you may not have had a family growing up that you really felt like family with. That's for some of you. That's not everybody here. Um, but regardless of that, in this lifetime here, you are meant to create a family that actually feels like family to you. Like you can actually trust and rely on these people, because you are the one that chose for them to be in your life or not. You're the one making that decision of whether you want this person or whether you want to accept that cup of offering in this life or not, or in your life or not. So that's really, really big energy here of like creating your own chosen family. But this chosen family is going to be made up of members from your soul tribe. This isn't going to be, they may feel like random people here, but these are actually people who you have shared several lifetimes with. Oof, I love this energy for you. I don't even remember the second thing that I was picking up. Spirit's like, yeah, let's run with that one. So this feels like chosen family here. This feels like, you know, developing friendships and connections and relationships with people who truly get you, who, you know, um, who, you know, you don't feel bored with and you don't feel, you know, stagnant with, but people who you truly, um, who you get and who also gets you. You know, these are people who are on the same or very similar energetic frequency as you are, which is, I feel like for you is rare to find. You know, your energy is very unique, it's very different. You may have had a lot of hard times, either making friends or even keeping friendships. That's very significant here is like you have a hard time keeping friendships. And it's nothing that you really do. It's more so like, you know, certain people who you meet, who you have met in your life, who you may have considered friends, they were more so around for a short time because they were meant to teach you a specific lesson. There was something that you were meant to learn in those connections. There was something that they have brought into your life that you were meant to maybe alchemize or, you know, realize about yourself. I'm even picking up like, I had a really, really close friend years ago who, and we're not friends now. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. But she introduced me to spirituality. I grew up very religious. I grew up, thinking tarot cards were of the devil, and you know, parents were like, "Oh, you can't be messing with them spirits and them demons and all of that." I was taught that spirituality and anything associated with anything outside of Christianity was evil and wicked. That's how I was taught. But when I left for college and I started to kind of live life for myself, I was like 7 hours away from home, and I'm glad I chose a college that was like really far away from home. But I was able to meet a friend who, at that time was exactly what I needed because she really opened my mind up and expanded my mind. And it's funny because she was Muslim. So very, very similar to like Christianity. But, she had other friends who were into spirituality and tarot and witchcraft and things of that sort. While she didn't judge, um, I being around her and those other people, I, um, felt really drawn to, starting my own spiritual journey. Like for me, her coming into my life was my spiritual awakening. Um, and so I feel like that's very similar to your energy, like certain people in your life or who have came into your life in the past. And even like you coming into other people's lives are meant to like spark a spiritual awakening in others. It's meant to ignite a fire in other people. Um, and so I definitely feel like with your group here, while certain connections, excuse me, were only in your life for a specific season, it made a very big impact of your life. For some of you, this could even be like, okay, I know what type of friend I don't want in my life anymore. It could have been, those type of lessons because that happens. It even reminds me of like dating. Dating is not for marriage. Dating is for you to get to know yourself. Dating somebody is opportunities for you to be like, okay, this person treated me this way, and I did not like to be treated that way. So I know now that when it comes to relationships, this is how I want, or this is what I want in a relationship. It's through these different experiences we learn more about ourselves, what we like and what we don't like, what we accept and what we don't accept, what boundaries we want to place, and what boundaries are can be a little bit you can compromise with, whatever that may be. It's lessons in all of this. So these past relationships and friendships that you've had may not have always stuck because it was for a specific season in your life. Now, while those relationships and friendships may not have lasted in this lifetime, you're meant to have significant relationships or connections, a group of like-minded people. It doesn't have to be a large group though either. I'm seeing like three, four, maybe up to like 5 or 6 people. Um, and for some of you, you're like, oh, I don't want that big of a circle, which is understandable. But this isn't like your past friendships. This feels very much so people who you actually enjoy being around, people who, y'all have very similar interests, very similar hobbies, very similar beliefs and values. If you're into tarot, they're into tarot. If you're into, why am I getting skateboarding and I'm also getting longboarding? If you're into that, they're into that, or at least they're open to it. They're not judgmental. They're not, um, hating on you or anything. This doesn't feel like any one-sided relationships or, jealousy or anything like that. You all are individuals coming together to kind of form. Oh, I'm hearing coven. To kind of form, a friendship group that is meant to be healing for all of you. Because I feel like all of y'all are like have had very similar journeys, and that may be something y'all talk a lot about, um, and realize about one another. It's like, wow, we've gone through a lot of similar things, and it's funny that we ended up here now. I'm seeing people. It's like a backyard, but or somebody's like backyard, but there's like a couch. There's a group of y'all just sitting out there laughing and joking. There's like a little fire going on. It feels like nighttime. I'm seeing like little lights around. But it's like y'all are laughing, you're joking, I'm seeing a bottle of wine, I'm seeing drinks. For somebody here, I'm seeing, a little smoke going around. It's that type of energy to where I feel like, you know, I'm getting like, you may look up one day and experience this vision that I'm having right now, and you may look around and be like, "Wow, I really made it in life," because you may have never thought that you would have um, really close friendships and relationships to where you're able to truly be your authentic self, and they accept you while they're able to be their authentic selves, and you accept them. you know it's almost like a I made it type of moment. But yeah, that's what you're meant to create here, is your own soul group here, or a group of friends here. And it's going to bring a lot of balance into your life. You're going to bring a lot of balance into each other's lives. um, and for some of you here, if you are single, you are going to meet your person through this group of people. I feel like this friendships may come in first, and then you may, maybe on a night out or something like that, you may run into your person, while hanging out with your friends here. That's very specific for somebody here. Or your one of your friends here may have like a brother or cousin or a friend or coworker, and they're like, "Oh, let me hook you up with so and so," or so and so from my job. I showed them a picture of you, and they think you're fine as hell. Let me give you their number. Like, it's some type of energy here to where it's like letting your friends help you. Um, Very, very specific here. Whew. Okay, let me pull a few cards here. What else, Spirit? Anything else regarding like what are they meant to create for group number 3? What are they meant to create? Group 3. Can I get one more? Thank you. Good cheer, yeah. And then you got confidence, and what is this? Inspiration. Yeah, you're definitely meant to create this group of your soul tribe family here, and y'all are gonna really inspire one another. Some of y'all may create content with one another. Like, you may make little funny, silly videos. It may not necessarily be some big viral thing, but it's like, it's fun. This feels like a very fun and playful energy. This doesn't feel uptight. This doesn't feel strict. This feels very loose and fun. I'm drawn to like the kids here, kind of spinning around in a circle with each other. Especially paired with good cheer. This feels like y'all are really going to enjoy actually being around each other. You know, you may be somebody who really enjoys your space, or time alone or time to yourself. But with these people, you're going to be more than okay with like hanging out with one another. Like, it may even get to the point to where y'all are hanging out like every day. This feels like best friend energy here. Um, like, like you're definitely gonna have multiple best friends here, is what I'm picking up. And people who you are very, very close with, and you're able to celebrate with, without feeling like they're trying to one up you, or they're jealous of you or envious of you or anything like that. Instead, because jealousy and envy is inspiration disguised. So instead of them, projecting onto you or feeling jealousy and envy, they're going to take that inspiration and they're gonna, move with that inspiration. Like you're gonna inspire a lot of people here, or a lot of people from your soul group, and vice versa. They're gonna inspire you as well. It's a lot of like bouncing off of each other. Is very a lot of mirroring energy here, and it's gonna be a really big boost to your confidence, um, especially like something about manifestation. Um, so I feel like you may be manifesting, solid connections in your life. And I feel like, with you actually manifesting these connections in your life, it's going to really show you like, wow, I really manifested this. Again, it's almost like you're going to look around one day, years later down the line, as y'all are still best friends and still close. Later on down the line, y'all will be having a little fun night out, and you're gonna look around and be like, "Wow, I really made it." Um, wow, that's really really powerful here. Um, yeah, inspiration here. Y'all are meant to like maybe create something with this friend group. And I'm saying group, but this could also just be like one other person. Doesn't have to be some big group of people. Soul tribe. You may only be meant to, you know, spend a lifetime with one soulmate. A soulmate is just somebody who you have a strong spiritual bond or connection with. Soulmate, contrary to popular, culture here, it does not always mean romantic. In fact, we meet more platonic soulmates than we actually do romantic soulmates. We got twin flames, you got karmics. There's a lot of different soul connections that we may end up with romantically. But that's another video for another day. Um, but yeah, definitely picking up strong, like creating something with somebody else. So this could be creating content, or writing a book together, or starring in a little skit or show together. I'm seeing somebody like on stage. You may do improv together. Somebody here can be really into like theater or Broadway, or just doing something that they're on the stage. I'm also seeing somebody doing like comedy. Y'all may really be funny together. I just see like y'all laughing so much. Like your waist is going to be snatched by how much y'all will like laugh with one another. Um, there's so much laughter. Like y'all are going to be so funny. And y'all are going to have a lot of like inside jokes with one another. I love this energy. I think my next reading may be about your next friendship. Yeah, I'm picking that up strong for the collective here. Your next friendship. Y'all heard it here first, folks. So yeah, I think yeah. Okay. Thanks for that inspiration, Spirit. See, you inspired me, group number three. You know how inspirational you are. Like a lot of people like really admire you, and I want to say this before I end the reading. And I hope that this, really lifts you up. But a lot of people are really inspired by you, whether they tell you this or not. Like you really inspire people to like go after certain things, or pursue certain things, or to be a certain way. Um, and it's like without you even knowing, like you don't have to know. You can just feel it and pick up on it. It's very very beautiful energy here. All right, but group number three, I think these are all the messages that I'm seeing for y'all. So let me know how this reading resonates for you in the comment section. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Y'all stay well, stay blessed, and I'll see you in my next reading. Peace out.